Hello, DY Dad here. Right, you might have watched some of the other videos about us trying to leave the UK, about what's happened with a house sale. If you haven't watched those, go back and watch those before this video, because that'll tell you roughly what, the struggles we've been having in trying to sell a house. Now, I won't bother recapping, because you need to go and watch that. But we've had trouble. We've had people that are a bit of pain, basically. So, I spent a week tarting up the house again, and we went back on the market, and then we had a viewing. Yeah, exciting times. And what happened with that viewing is about 3 hours after viewing, somebody put an offer in. So yeah, there we go. It wasn't quite high enough, so we said we'd like a little bit more. They offered a bit more. The house is now sold. That's really, really good news. So, from having our other buyers that messed us around, and then eventually we decided to get rid of them and re-advertise, it's taken us probably 2.5 weeks from getting the estate agent and doing one viewing and selling. It's only 2.5 weeks, so it's, in hindsight, that's been well worth it. Really has been worth it, to try and get the right people. And also, that means we've had a 100% success rate with selling our house. We went to somebody and said, "Do you want to buy it?" And they said yes. Then that didn't work. And then we went to somebody, we had one viewing and sold it straight away. So we have had a 100% success rate with selling our house. So that's fantastic. It is nice. I'm sitting in our little garden room that overlooks the fields here. We've got a resident barn owl that flies around here, and we see quite a lot of deer, hares, all sorts of wildlife coming into this field, and we have cattle in it sometimes, and sometimes there's sheep. They top it about once a year, so that's good. So now we're in a position where I think we're going to be hopefully finished by October, which is winter time, which isn't ideal for us, because what we had planned to do was to go into Europe, do a little bit of Europe down the Croatian coast and then into Montenegro, but I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll wait. I think what we're probably going to do is fly somewhere next. So we'll sell the house, sell the van, and then we'll just go. We'll just fly to somewhere warm and sunny and exciting. And then I think we might come back in the summer, maybe a year or so, and do that coast. We'll see. We don't know. We've got no really plans as yet for any of that. So in the last video, I said, what are we going to do in the meantime? And I've had all these ideas because we've got some of the summer left now, and we've got time to do things. I've left my job, and there's no point in me going back now. It's just not worth it now. We might as well just carry on. I'm trying to integrate more with the family, and we've decided that we're going to get a trailer tent. So yes, we have bought a trailer tent, sort of a towable one, which folds out. So you've got two big double beds on either side, and then it comes with a kitchen and everything. I'll do a video on that at some point. So we had a bit of trouble finding a decent one. It's one of these things where everything you want is millions of the other end of the UK, and in Cumbria, because it's such a big county, you can drive a long, long way to look at something to then find out it's rubbish. So I've looked at 3 or 4, and most of the ones I looked at, I was just like, well, there's holes all over it in the canvas. This is just no good. They're advertised as in good condition. So, and then we went to look at something called a folding camper, which is different to a trailer tent. So a folding camper is basically it's the bottom half of a caravan, effectively. Bottom half of a caravan, exactly the same, and it's sort of cut off halfway. And you've got, the same as a trailer tent, you've got canvas that it folds out. So you've got half of a caravan on the bottom, and then a trailer tent that folds out on the top. That was quite a lot bigger. And I looked at the video and looked at the write-up and went, oh yeah, that looks ace, that. So I went to have a look, and no, it wasn't as advertised particularly. It was pretty shoddy. It was very, very rough. It wasn't something you could get in and just drive away in. It was like literally it needed tyres to start with. The tyres are all cracked. It had been sat around for years. That hadn't been mentioned. The water heater had been ripped out from inside. The toilet had been ripped out from inside. The gas was run from a bottle inside the tent, which isn't really meant to be like that, because if you do and the gas leaks, you die. So from the gas filling the tent. So that wasn't very good. And I just looked round it, and the light lenses were cracked, and one of the light lenses was taped up, with some clear sellotape. Actually, one of the fold down legs had fallen off, and they had another leg that needed drilling and putting it back on. And I've just looked around at it, and it was just like the inside had been painted with Dulux. Everything was painted white, and I was just, the canvas was really, really saggy. So if it rained, it would like pool in the top and no doubt leak through. I was just like, driven sort of 50, 60 miles one way for this, and it was just, sorry, it's no good. No, it's no good. But one good thing did come out of it. She had a really nice collie dog. My youngest daughter was terrified of dogs, even though we used to have a husky. We lost him, unfortunately. I really miss him when she was 1 year old. And she got nibbled by a little puppy when she was in a pram when she was sort of 1.5. She doesn't remember our dog. And now she's absolutely terrified of dogs. She physically shakes if a dog comes near her, and you have to pick her up. Now, she actually played with this dog, so that's fantastic. We got her to stroke a dog the other day, and now she actually got her to play with this dog. So, she's facing her fears now with the dog, so that's good for when we travel. So yeah, we've bought a trailer tent. We're going to go and do a load of festivals. I towed the trailer tent back 80 miles yesterday. It was about 80 miles to go and get the tent. There was another one, we viewed it and we're like, oh, actually this is pretty, compared to everything we've seen, this is pretty good. It's just a bit dirty. It just needs a good wash. So I've given that a good wash this morning. And it towed back, like I said, 80 miles, no problems at all. So that's good. So I just need to open it out and give it a clean and go through, and then we're ready for our festivals. And I think we're going to go up into Scotland. We're going to go off to cross into the west coast of Solway. I think we're going to go to Solfest, and we're going to try and find some other festivals as well, I think, while we're at it, until it gets too cold to really camp. But I do have a diesel heater in the van, so what I could do is pipe the diesel heater into the tent and have that running, so that would be quite good. That would be very good. Your tent would be like 30 degrees, it would be fantastic. So there we go. So that's what's happened. Things are looking up. I'm quite pleased about it all. The house is sold. We just, and they're ready to go because they lost the sale. So all their paperwork's ready to go as well. So both ready to go. So this should happen relatively quickly. Tent's all good. That's sorted. The other thing is my daughter's teeth. She's been for she'd been for an X-ray and the initial assessment, and she opened her mouth and was, really good for the dentist. So she's facing her fears with that as well, because we're really struggling with that. So really, she just needs to go and have the work done now, and we're good. Then we're good to go. So there you go. That's a quick update of what's happening in the DIY Dad's world at the moment. Right, we'll leave that there, and we'll speak again.